Hello gang, Merlin Don on the mic. I'm here today bringing you another video with the red leader Shanks from the OP09 set, and this is the deck list that I used to the following videos. So the first video is against Blue Doffy. We choose of course to go first in order to disrupt his curve, and the first hand was not the ideal one, so we mulligan. This hand is a little better because we have some removal here. He drops his Sengoku and he draws a Boa Hancock, so we know that he is going to play Boa Hancock. We don't have any options here, something better to play, so we play a Honko, which is an activate main, give a -2k to an opponent of yours, and this would be the perfect combination together with Marco, because if Toffee plays a character that costs, let's say, 5k, like for example his Jimby or something like that, then we could play on our next turn Marco and KO this character. But of course Blue Toffee does Blue Toffee things, so he plays now his Jimby into Trafalgar Law, and then he bounces Hongo back to my hand. So unfortunately we don't have anything else to do here, and what we do is of course we attack with our leader, and then we play a body. The two options here would be either to play body or just Hongo and then keep the Cam Red Hawk as backup to defend ourselves. But it is also really important to keep building your board here, because we need something to attack our opponent's characters. So the first hit goes to my leader through his Jimby without investment of any dons here, so we use our leader's ability to give a -1 to his Jimby, and the next attack from low we defend that with 1k. Then he plays Sengoku, he draws another Boa Hancock, so this is the 4-cost one, and then he attacks me with 7k. Of course we use our backman to get rid of his Boa Hancock, then we attack with Shanks with our leader to his Jimby. We managed to kill him, but the attack of Marco will not go through, and we pass the ball to our opponent. We're pretty good here, we're still healthy with 4 life, we have enough counter in our hand. So the first hit we use our leader ability to do a -1. The second hit we give him an 1k, and now we have a Doffy who has 6 ton. He wanted to play the first boa that he drew. So guys, always pay attention at what our opponent does, draws, and then you will know what more or less what he has in his hands. So our backman cannot attack. He attacks with his leader with 5k. This is his last attack. Of course we counter that because we still want to stay healthy. We are at 9 don, we play our dragon, we buff our leader, and then we try to clear the board, because when you play against Toffee, the most important thing is to clear the board. If you manage to take control of the board, then you will win the game eventually. We almost clear the board here. Then he wants to do the same because he sees that we are at 4 life, and he's like, okay, now I have to do something about his board before he starts throwing his Shanks. He attacks our Marco with 8k. Unfortunately for him, we have enough events to bring him back, and this is exactly what we do. His attack with Boa is a fail, and then what he does is he says, okay, I will do it again. He plays a Perona to sort his top deck in order to play something together with the attack of his leader, and then he attaches 3 Dawn, he attacks again, 4 Dawn, excuse me, he attacks again my Marco with 9k and plays a Moria, and then with his Moria he grabs another card from his deck. Of course, I will let this go and bring this back by using the event of mine. We can also see that he grabs another Trafalgar Law from his trash. So one of these 6 cards is a law. It's something that we know now. And of course, he plays Jimby in the Weevil and he draws another card. So now we play our Dragon and our opponent decides that, okay, this Shanks is still healthy with 4 life, we got 3 life, he has 2 dragons, 1 Marco, a Beckman, he will invest some dons, attach some dons for free because of Dragon to his leader or to another character. He still has another 2 dons. Of course, this was not a matchup that he could win here. So let's go to the second match. This is against Bonney. He chose to go first. Of course, we go second, but when I go second and see such a hand, I'm so happy. Sanji is such a strong card if you go second, and in that game you will see also the reason why is that. So we draw and play our Sanji, then we play our Rooks, we attach 2 Dawn to our Sanji, we attack with 7k, so a 7k swing. This guy rests our Rooks and then we hit him with our leader. He takes, and now we have enough counter, or more than enough counter. We still have a Beckman that wants to KO something of our opponent. So now he plays a Cavendish and he tries to kill our Shanks here. And at this moment I was like, I was thinking, wait a minute, I do need this Shanks. And you know what? This is exactly what I'm gonna do here. I will defend this character, because next turn I can grab a resource that's a life of mine and attack again with a 7k swing. So this is exactly what I'm doing here. I use a Bad Manners and another card to defend my Sanji. I decided to keep Marco here because of his KO ability, and instead I sacrifice my other Sanji, and this is exactly the reason why I played here my Marco to KO his Rosinante, and then again the same thing again. Attach 2 Dawn to Sanji, grab 1 of your life, 7k swing, he takes, and then again with leader 6k swing. Of course he counters that and he's now at 7. Now he's at 7 Dawn and he has a Cavendish, but on my next turn, on our next turn, we are at 8 Dawn. That means only one thing, Beckman. He attacks with Cavendish to our Sanji. Sanji did more than enough, and we thank him also about that, and we let him go without investing something here. So that's also a pivot turn, because he attacks our rules. What we could do here is let Bruce go and KO for free his Cavendish, but this is exactly what we're gonna do with Beckman, and Beckman cannot kill Hawkins. So we want to keep this body alive. We use our leader's ability to eliminate the threat of this attack. And then he plays a Bonney, he searches, he grabs a 2k, and on our next turn, of course, we start dynamically by playing a Beckman. We KO his Cavendish, and then we're like, okay, now 7k to your face. Then he rests my rules again. He decides to take, and then again with Sanji. Sanji, excuse me, with Shanks against Bonney, but he blocks with his Hawkins. So now it's a time that it's really hard when you are against Bonney, because at that point most of the Bonney players play Kid, and they wall up behind this Kid. This is exactly what this player is gonna do here. He was thinking about it for a moment. He was like, okay, what are my options here? What can I do? And he decides here to attack my ruse. Of course, I eliminate this threat, and then he plays his he attacks again my ruse. I decide to defend that. And then he plays his Kid and his Bartolomeo for free with ability of Kid. And I was like, okay, now I need to get rid of this Bartolomeo and also keep building my board. So I do that with the help of Beckman. I attack his Kid with my Beckman, and now it's a turn that a Doffy wouldn't bring him anything, because I have only one rested character, and this could make him lose. And he decides, okay, if I can't do that, then I will play Hot Zones. I will rest 2 of your characters, and then I will eliminate all of your threats, all of your board, for example. So the first hit comes from his Kid. I decide to counter that. The second hit comes from zones. I can't do anything about it. Then he hits with his Hawkins, my Beckman. Of course, I counter that. Then his last hit was against my Marco. Unfortunately, I have to take that. And now comes the savior of the match. His mistake was that he also attacked with Hawkins. Some of you will argue and say, okay, if he hadn't done that, then I would probably have one extra character, but I still think that this was a mistake. And you can see the pivot turn here, because what I do with Rayleigh is -3 to your Kid, get rid of your Kid with Beckman, and then he tries to defend that by sacrificing 3 cards, and then I kill it with Rooks, I attack with Shanks, and I get the game, because not all of his cards have counter. So next, let's go to a Nami match. I chose to go first and try to build the board here as fast as possible by using, of course, on my second turn. Let me get it to twice the speed by using my Sanji, one of my favorite cards in this deck. On my third turn, I use my Yasop to buff my leader. Sanji ability, grab a resource, attack him with 7, then pass, because 6k against Nami's, you just give him 3 cards. And now he attacks my Sanji, and I was like, you know what? I have some cards in my hand which I don't need, but I need this dude, and I defend that. I defend this card, and on the next turn, I go all over. I just go all over. I play my Marco. I grab a resource from my life. I attack him with 7k. Attack him again with 7k with my leader. He buffs himself with this event. He has now 6k, but he has only 1 turn left. So I keep poking him, and I want him to give me either all of his cards or his life. He wants to stay healthy, but he sacrifices almost all of his cards in his hand. Then he attacks my Sansi again, and again here in that moment. On that moment, I defend this card because I need an extra 7k. Now it's a 10 for Dragon. Again, I use my Sansi's ability, 7k. Then again with all with Yasop, with Shanks, with Marco, with Dragon, he sacrifices all of his cards and also 1 life. So now he attacks again my Sansi, and I was in that moment I thought that I could possibly need him one more turn, and that's why I defended him here. But the thing is that he played then 2 characters, so a blocker and a character, and at that moment I was like, okay, give me a moment. If I take 1 card here, 1 life, to buff my Sansi, and I don't win in this turn, which will probably be normal not to win in this turn, then he could probably I would be with either 1 card or 2 cards without any counter. And if my 2 last life are not cards with counter, then he could probably, which is it's also possible, you know, this deck has many bricks. He could possibly attach all of his half of his Dawn to his Nami, so the character Nami, and the rest to the leader Nami, and finish me off. So what I decided to do here at that moment is to play my Rayleigh, KO his blocker, give a -2 to his Nami, and attack with all of my characters except Sanji, so that I'm still healthy here. And he's now, if I remember correctly, at around 13 cards, and he has a snake dance, 14 cards. I just saw it, excuse me. 14 cards. Then he played 2 blockers and Kaya, and he has a snow, the snow thing. So I was like, now, okay, I will start with a 9k to see what he do. What he does is, of course, this snake dance, and he grabs a Kaya back, then again a 9k. He's still using his cards and the Kaya that he got back, and now he has 2 blockers, 1 life, 0 Dawn left, and I got my cards. So I was like, now, you know what? It's now or never. Beckman, KO 1 blocker, buff my Sansi. This Sansi Science also now, it's a great card, I tell you. And then without any Dawns, oh yeah, that's also a great moment, because I was like, okay, now I got it 100%, and then suddenly he plays another snake dance, and he sends my Yasop to my hand. I was like, no, I have now only my Marco and my leader, but as you can see here, this was enough to win. He had only 1 key counter in his hand. But this match shows the value of Sansi. And let's close this video with a mirror match. So the opponent chooses to go second, and I can understand that, because he wants to start spamming his 10 cost Shanks first. And in our first hand we see 2 Shanks, 2 10 cost Shanks, Beckman, Otama, Rose. It's a great hand for a mirror match, if you ask me. So we keep, it's no problem that we don't have anything to play like he has now, an Uta, and he grabs a Lucky Rooks. Rayleigh is one of my favorite cards in this deck by far. So we attach now our 3-Dawn. We don't have anything else to play here. We just wait patiently, and he plays also a Ruse here. And this is the paradox of the mirror match when you play a mirror match, because if the opponent has a Lucky Rooks and you have a Lucky Rooks, then what happens is, and you will see it on the next turn, because here we attach 1-Dawn to our leader, and then we play our Lucky Rooks, and now what he does is he plays Yasuo, he buffs his leader, he attacks with 7k. So and when he does that, of course I counter that, and I kill his Lucky Rooks for free. So it's such a great card, I tell you. And now we're at 7-Dawn. What that means is we play our Pac-Man and we kill this Yasuo that he played on his last turn. It's such a great card, and we're still healthy. Well, we are still at 5-Dawn. Now he attacks us with 7k to our face. I will tell you that I will tell you that now, I will tell you that later. In the mirror match, try to stay healthy for as long as possible. You will see why. So of course we reduce his hit here by 1, we sacrifice a 2k, and the next one we take because we don't want to sacrifice too many counters for 1 hit. On the next turn he's at his 10-Dawn, and we are now at 9. So we need to build something here, to build our board also. So we decide to play our Rayleigh here instead of 2 blockers, and the reason is here because I want to take some cards out of his hand or to kill his dragon. So we do a -3 to Dragon, we attach a Dawn to Beckman, he reduces this hit by 1, it's now a 7k hit, he gives us a 2k, and then 5k to his leader, he takes. We are still healthier as he is. He now plays the Shanks, it starts to getting scary with the Shanks. He's thinking what he gonna do. He attacks our with his dragon to our Beckman. We counter that, and this is how strong Rayleigh is, because this -3 remains also for the opponent's turn. That's perfect. So we counter, then again he attacks with his leader to our life. We counter, of course, we want to stay healthy, and the final hit comes from his Shanks into our Beckman, and of course we take. We can't do anything about it. Then we play our Shanks, we try to kill his dragon or to get some cards out of his hand. What he does is he does a -1k to our Shanks, and he tries to counter that. He tries to save his dragon here. In order to do that, he sacrifices 2 of his cards. He's now at 4 cards and 3 life. And then I was like, okay, you know what? 5k to your leader. He takes. Oh no, he does not take. He counters, but the next one he takes. And he's now at 5 cards, 2 life. We have 2 bodies, and now he plays his second Shanks. And most of the time, when you see a second Shanks, so someone plays 2 10-cost Shanks, then you're like, okay, the game is over. -2k to the both characters, it's too much. But you will see here how important it is to stay healthy in a mirror match. So with his dragon, he attacks our rally. What we do here is we defend the first hit. Then he attacks with his Shanks to our Shanks. We defend that. And then he attacks again with his Shanks to our Shanks because he couldn't go for game here and he wanted to clear my board. So he was like, okay, you have 3 cards left. I will take your Shanks here. And he does, because I don't have cards with only cards with counter, and he knows that. But I'm able here to defend this hit, this last hit from his leader. And now we're at the point where I have 2 characters. So 1 character, 1 leader, and 1 Shanks in my hand. And I was like, you know what? Shanks can also be a finisher. What is important here is for me to take your life, because if he's at 0 life and I am at 4 life with the Shanks in my hand, it's easy. So I attach some dons to Rayleigh, then I attach some dons to my leader. I leave 2 don open for the Red Hawk. He takes both of these hits and then it's his turn. Now with 10 don, he's thinking. And I was like, okay, let's see what he does here. With 10 don, I have 4 life. If he attacks with, if he plays another Shanks and he tries to go for game, he won't do anything at all, because I have 4 life, he will have 5 attacks and one of them will be a 5k. Can't do anything about it. And then he plays his Uta, and once he played his Uta, I was sure he was searching for blocker. Blocker would be the only thing here that could have helped him. And he draws a Beckman. And this is exactly the moment where I knew, okay, it's over. It's over because you don't have any blocker and you can't do anything to finish me off. So I counter here, and of course it's game over for him. So this is how you play the mirror matches. This is a really fun deck. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this deck, this new deck list. If there is something that you would change here, if you like this deck list, what would you do differently, or if you want me to cover some other tactics here or another leader, just let me know. Drop a like, drop a comment, or you can also just say hi, in the comments. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day or rest of your day. Bye.